Privatization of ECG.
Welcome to the Political Rant with me, the voice, right here on GCN TV page. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification so that anytime videos of this nature are uploaded, you'll be notified. John Dramani Mahama has announced that he's going to, or he's considering, privatizing ECG. Meaning that ECG might soon become a private company. And then people who work at ECG might soon become private sector workers. The reset you voted for is here. Now, what is the story? What is the story? If you remember, before Akufo-Addo came to power 2017, ECG was in debt. A lot of debt. Now, easy. They were using it to pay salaries. Most of the money, about 80% of the money prepaid and also the money that ECG was getting, they were using it to pay people's salary. Then the other part of it, they were using it to buy cars for their their workers and those things. Now mudika. That's easy. Now, what happens was that because of that, ECG was on the verge of how do you say it, insolvency. Because of that, ECG was on the verge of collapsing. And because they were on the verge of collapsing, the government of Ghana then, under John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, went and appealed to the Americans to have an investment into ECG. And the agreement was that, the Americans were going to invest about $190 million into ECG. Now, the $190 million they were going to invest into ECG, that money was one of the requirements under IMF was that they were supposed to privatize ECG. So, under John Mahama, His Excellency, before Akufo-Addo came, the understanding and agreement was reached that ECG should be privatized. So John Mahama knew very well that ECG was going to be privatized. Fast forward, when Akufo-Addo came, and they came to meet this requirement and this concession from NDC's government, they saw that, well, that might be the way to go, because already ECG is state-owned and is not making profit. And as it's not making profit, the government is forced to push in more money and not making any profit after that, which is not good for business. Secondly, John Mahama had entered some very, very expensive power agreement, and we needed ECG to be very, very sufficient and efficient in raising revenue to be able to pay the people that John Mahama had entered contracts with them. So we said, okay, let's go forward with the privatization, because once we privatize, we will get a $190 million. And that is how come the whole PDS thing came in. Now, we must interested to also know that PDS company, they had already lobbied for ECG under John Mahama. So it's not as if what you were told that some MPP people came together to create a company called PDS is not true. PDS had lobbied under John Mahama to buy ECG. So when Akufo-Addo government came, they realized that the most feasible or the best company among all the bids was PDS, and they awarded the contract to PDS for PDS to start. Now, when PDS started work, the revenue mobilization in ECG went up. They were getting revenue, they were raising revenue. But it was at that moment that the NDC brought out their devil card. In the sense, NDC knew they had agreed, said they have to privatize ECG. They knew, said they had opened up for lobbying. They knew, said once ECG is privatized, some $190 million was going to come into the country to help our energy sector. They knew all these things. But after Akufo-Addo went ahead to privatize ECG, bam, trouble has come. They started speaking against privatization, and MPP want to sell all state assets, and Akufo sold Ghana Telecom, and so Akufo-Addo also has come to sell ECG. This one said this, Addo Forson says this. When Addo Forson says, Sami Jefi will say hey, this one will say hey, this one will say hey. So that led to the fact, the Americans who were supposed to sell us a $190 million, they held back, because they knew that if they send the money in, there could be trouble. So now, because the Americans held back and they couldn't send the investment, it pushed government of Akufo-Addo to do further checks on PDS. And then they realized that should there be any issue, PDS does not have the needed insurance, okay, to be able to pay for whatever damages will be done because of the withdrawal of the Americans, the 190 million US dollars. And so that's how come they had to reverse that decision and take ECG back from PDS and revert to ECG.
What's ECG? Private.
Privatization of ECG. Because NDC really spoke against privatization, especially PDS by
PDS my better service.
But even after that, we started making some headways. Now, we must understand, say, the whole problem about ECG is basically about the fact that some workers and others have not been really faithful to the work they have been assigned to do at ECG. There are a lot of thieves at ECG, and most of these thieves are not political appointees. So most of them are civil servants. Most of them. And that is the reason why anytime you call for privatization of ECG, you see them demonstrating so that they will demonstrate and pull their things down, say they don't want any this, any this. But the best option is to privatize ECG, which is what Akufo-Addo did or wanted to do. But they fought, you and these people fought against it. You see, politics is so funny in such a way that whatever you do is like an investment. It's like a seed you are sowing. A time will come, it will bite you back. Now the time has come. NDC is also faced with the same problem difficulty, where there is a need to privatize ECG. But they cannot come out boldly because of the things they said in the past. Now Akufo-Addo is no more the president. Bawumia is not the vice president. So now that you guys are saying you want to privatize ECG, you guys also, do you want to share it among yourself and spend the money? Is that what you are saying? But this is a kind of argument you have empowered our friends, our people in MPP to make, because you said the same thing when the time came for this. What goes around comes around. And then to the workers of ECG, you voted for reset. Is that not so? And the reset is biting everybody. Obiabeji need ECG will take DS, GRA will take DS, police will take DS, military will take DS. All of you who voted massively for John Mahama, and you gave him 56%. Obiabeji need and the Addo Uswa, just take it cool. Don't even say feel, because nobody is going to support you. Nobody. Like those of us, you see, normally it's the opposition party that will have to support you. That will say, stop the sales of ECG. Then we will start making the noise. The international community will step in. We will not make any noise. We will let John Mahama deal with you. John Mahama, please deal with them. Show them pepper. They voted for reset. Show them a red pepper, the dry one. See the red pepper when they dry it. That one. Show it to them. Let them become private workers. And let's see if they will have the leisure they have in the public sector under a private contractor. This has been your favorite political round with me, The Voice, right here on GCN TV page, soon to be Ghana and Sem TV. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on the notification so that anytime videos of this nature are uploaded, you'll be notified. Until then, bye bye. See you in the next one.